Hello, everybody, and welcome to the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we are your local guys.
What's good, Drew?
The weather was good today, Dom. Nice
It
day today.
was.
I
It
think we're
was,
going to go.
but unfortunately, it seems to be the going pattern that Sundays are just, not really nice anymore.
Yeah, it's starting to. That front's moving in already. Just outside a little bit ago.
Yeah. It's crazy, though. It gets super warm. It was raining last week, but it was like 60 degrees,
Right.
you know? Fingers crossed it stays that way for a little bit longer before it starts dumping snow on us.
And getting windy and ice cold. It's the wind,
Yeah,
right? You can dress for the cold, but the wind is the X factor.
I went out today with my daughter and we did some tomorrow's her birthday. Shout out to Lucy. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Luce.
9 going on 19. She told me she was turning 10. She wanted to be 10 and I said, "Oh, well once you're 10, you got to start, doing a lot more chores around the house." She's like, "I'll be 9, Dad." So, but no, there was like no wind. It was beautiful. It was 50. It felt more like 70. It was nice.
It was beautiful day
I
today.
saw you driving around. You were out shopping too.
I was.
Nice. I got to get a Pollyanna. My wife's got a lot of cousins, and we do the white elephant gift exchange. I got to find something to get. I don't know what to get this year.
Is it gag gifts or?
It's anything. It can be gag gifts. It can be whatever. So
Get her
but
a Fans First Sports Network pullover.
no way, man. This thing is nice. It's soft. It's warm. It's beautiful. The network hooked it up for us this week.
Yes.
So
I
not
should have
giving
worn
this one
mine.
away. Not giving this one away. I was thinking about getting a tushy.
Tushy.
Yes, it is a bidet that you attach to your toilet. I thought that would be a good one.
I think that would be a great one. That's
And
a great gift.
it was either that or there was at West Marine they had a portable toilet. That was my next other option.
Another good gift is I have one. It's the tent. You used it, I
Yes,
believe.
I have been to the tent. Apparently, people were using those on the beach this summer.
No, were they?
Yeah, I saw
Wow.
a poster too where someone put the tailgate tent up, and that was their little oasis in the sand.
I hope they brought a bucket and didn't
I
just use
don't
the
think there was a
beach.
bucket involved. I think it was just right in the sand. They were Airbnbers for
They
sure.
were Airbnbers, 100%.
100%. 100%. So, I thought that would be good too. The tushy. I might order one of those.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Make sure they plummet to the hot water side though.
Hey man, I'm not going to be there to plummet, but no, last year I got a TV. The
A
year before that, I
TV.
think I got, yeah, dude, they were selling like 30-inch TVs at Best Buy for like $80 back, you know. So
That's
I got
fun.
Apple TV the year before. I've always done pretty good, but
Nice.
yeah.
Hey, so I want to start. This was something that I mentioned to you the other day, but I didn't tell you what it was because I wanted to give you the opportunity to hear it and react to it live.
Oh man.
So after our last podcast, trains, planes, and automobiles, I had gone through the train section of it, and I went through the various rails that ran through town. And you had mentioned you thought there was a train that came in on 8th Street. And you had mentioned that to me before, and I had acknowledged that, but said I thought you were wrong. And my research that I uh, did not show any trains coming in at 8th Street. Well, one of our listeners, and I'll give a shout out to him, his name is Craig Norberg.
Thank
You
you,
may
Craig.
know the name. His son Jeremy was a standout surfer for Ocean City High School. Anyway, he sent me a picture, Dom, of a bridge, a train bridge coming into Ocean City at 8th Street. He said he thought it was circa roughly 1930. So I went and did a little bit deeper research, and I stand corrected. There was the Shore Fast line, which ran from Atlantic City to Ocean City via the mainland communities of Pleasantville, Northfield, Linwood, and Summers Point. It was an electric interurban railroad that ran 11 miles, and it ran from 1907 until 1948. So it was the Shore Fast Line electric trains that ran between Atlantic City and Ocean City, and I stand corrected.
Yes, because you called BS on me when I said that my house in my corner where I sit on 8th Street is a little bit higher because there used to be a train stop here. Or there used to be something with the trains on 8th Street. So my corner is higher. And you're like, no, there's no trains there. And I'm like, dude, are you sure, man? Like, I don't think the guy that I bought my house from is like very knowledgeable dude. Like, you know, got me thinking he just blew some smoke up my butt. But clearly, the internet does not tell you everything you need to know.
No, well, I guess I just didn't do enough work. Didn't put the
Yeah.
work in. So shout out to Craig Norberg. Thanks for correcting us. I thought about, I'm going to throw out some Easter eggs, right? I'm going to throw out some tidbits of BS every once in a while and see if anybody catches me.
Aren't they throwing out mostly Easter eggs here, Drew, at this point? Now we don't know what to believe. I
That's
don't even
right.
know. I think we should just end this right now because who knows if half of what you've researched is even true.
Now I try to do my due diligence, Dom, as you know. That one got past me.
Speaking of things that we need to update, one of the previous episodes we did was about the constant turnover in superintendents we've had since the departure of Kathleen Taylor, Dr. Kathleen Taylor, excuse me. Looks like we've got our next interim superintendent here, Terry Crowley Sr., father of Terry Crowley Jr., the current First Ward councilman.
My councilman.
He is, so that's
and a
good.
friend. Terry's a good guy. I do not know his father, but Terry's a good guy.
Yeah. Looks like he's spanned over 50 years in education. You know, served as the executive county superintendent for Cape May. So sounds like the board made a good solid choice here. Someone who will be an asset as we search for a full-time replacement. So that's good. That is good news.
And this is a volunteer position, Dom?
No, I'm sure this is a $700 to $700+ a day stipend. So, but hey, man.
Hey, if Terry Crowley Sr. is as good a guy as Terry Crowley Jr., then I think the district is in good hands, at least in the short term.
Well, that's good. And, I'm sure he'll do his due diligence and help us be in good hands moving forward. So,
Yeah.
and then, on a less positive note, Ørsted has pulled out of this, offshore wind project, citing supply chain issues. However, another company has stepped in, not to start the project, but invested $10 million into setting up an incubator to help solve those supply chain issues. So, we're not out of the woods yet on this one. It seems that, Ørsted and the state of New Jersey kind of put the cart before the horse a little bit. And now
Gee,
that
you think?
Orsted's backed out, they're gonna try and plug some of the holes here before they try to move forward again.
Well,
They're definitely
speaking of putting the cart before the horse, now that we're getting down the road on this thing a little bit, there's more data coming out proving that the sonar mapping that they're doing is, in fact, causing problems for marine life, for marine mammals, specifically whales and dolphins. So hopefully the New Jersey DEP, I want to use an unkind term, but I'm not going to. I hope they wake up a little bit here and trust the science.
Who knows?
That was as kind as I could put it, Dom.
That's good. Well, they appreciate you being kind.
Yeah. Let's see what happens there. Keep up the fight, right?
Another crazy thing that came out in the paper this week in the OCNJ Daily, an article by one of our former guests, Mike DeVlieger. Ocean City was named the drunkest municipality in the state of New Jersey. How about that? A dry town.
Oh, BS. I'm sorry. That's BS.
True. Come on, man. Nights in Venice.
It's one night a year, Dom. And hey, look, I'm not saying that there's no alcohol in Ocean City. Trust me. But to call Ocean City the drunkest town in New Jersey is just absurd. I mean, without any data, all you have to do is go south to Sea Isle and farther south to Wildwood, right? And use your own little eyes, and you'll see that Ocean City doesn't come close to being the drunkest town in New Jersey. And on top of that, to use data, the data that they used for that is all of Cape May County for Ocean City. So if you peek behind the curtain a little bit, did it get a good headline? Did it get lots of reads? I'm sure it did, and good on them for doing their job as publishers. But it's garbage. Sorry.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Tom, again, have you ever been to Wildwood? Have you ever been?
Yeah, I went to Wildwood a whole bunch.
Sea Isle. I mean, Sea Isle is probably the most alcohol-centric
All right, I'll give you
community that I've ever seen. I mean,
I will give you Seattle
their
100%.
St. Patty's Day parade ends at a bar.
As it should.
Their Christmas parade ends at a bar. I mean, everything is alcohol-centric. So to say that
No shower
Ocean
happy
City,
hour,
kegs and eggs, I mean, just the polar bear plunge, dude. You say, look, man, you talk about night in Venice. Polar bear plunge is, you have to be a professional alcoholic to attend that. I mean, they're starting first thing. There's no amateurs allowed at that event. That thing is no joke.
Well,
so sorry. Call them BS on the on that ranking.
Speaking of amateurs, um, our topic this week, last night, first day. If you're in the business, New Year's Eve is referred to as possibly the biggest amateur night there is when it comes to going out and partying. Everyone who, you know, has sat around all year tries to soak up those last few hours of fun uh, on New Year's Eve, and it is 100% an amateur night. Everyone goes out, big ballin', going to their, pricey events and, champagne toast at midnight, all that fun stuff. Um, with that said, Ocean City has hosted now for quite some time, First Night, a family friendly event here in town with a bunch of stuff uh, for families to do uh, that doesn't involve uh, some of the amateurs that are out there in the world. So we're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll dive into everything that the First Night has to offer here in Ocean City. All right, and we're back and on to discuss First Night in Ocean City. Drew, did you get your badge for First Night?
I did not. I did
Oh, you're
not
just gonna hop
get
the
a
lines and cut in for free, try and
didn't
be one
get
of
a
those guys, crash the
I
party?
might. I might. No, I
Yeah.
didn't get a button this year. We did go a couple of years when Aiden was younger, but it really is. I mean, it's for all ages, um, but we haven't gone. I, I'm crowd averse these days, Tom. I try to stay away from crowds, and it gets crowded. You know,
It
there's a
does.
lot of people in town.
It does.
New Year's.
It's definitely grown over the years.
Well, to that end, so the first night, Ocean City's first night was in 1992.
Makes sense.
Yep, there were, and the event, the first night event, is really a good thing, right? It gives
Yeah.
family something to do without alcohol. It's a it's a good night for for families to um, have have some good entertainment without you know clashing
With
the
the amateurs.
with the amateurs, right? So in 1992, when it was started, there were 5 venues with 25 different entertainment acts. Admission buttons were sold for $5 for early birds and $8 after a certain date, and there were 800 buttons sold, which is pretty good for the first time out.
Yeah,
Yeah. Today
definitely.
there are 20 venues and 70 entertainment acts.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really grown, right? Uh, Admission buttons sell for $17 before December 1st and $22 after. And the number of buttons is capped at 10,000, and they now sell out every year. So there's
Wow.
yeah, 10 from 800 to 10,000. So it's New Year's Eve. It starts at 4, ends at midnight. And what does it end with, Dom?
Fireworks, of
Of
course.
course, fireworks. Got to end
Now,
with
are they get the
fireworks.
barge out there and everything for these ones?
Uh, you know, I don't know about New Year's Eve if it's done by barge.
I don't
I
know
would
either.
assume that it is because I think
Yeah.
they use the same company every year.
Okay.
Yeah. So this year, the event sponsors are the City of Ocean City, the Cape May County Board of Commissioners, the Ocean City Regional Chamber of Commerce, the Ocean City Free Public Library, Gillian's Wonderland Pier, the McMahon Agency, and Atlantic City Electric. All city-owned parking lots are open and they're free, Dom. Yes, you heard me here. Free parking. And
Wow.
there are
Free in Ocean City?
Free parking. And there are jitneys that they do loops to all the venues, and if you have a first night button, it also is free. You can ride all night long. You spend $17 just for a jitney ride. The venues include the Music Pier, the Civic Center, including an ice skating rink on the basketball courts, which we did. The skate park, the Tabernacle Youth Center, the Life Saving Station, St. Peter's United Methodist Church Sanctuary, the OC Primary School, the Community Center Atrium, Aquatic and Fitness Center, Library Lecture Hall, Children's Activity Center, the Historical Museum, and the Senior Center. The Ocean City High School gym, auxiliary gym, planetarium, auditorium, cafeteria, and community room.
Oh, the planetarium's going to be open?
The planetarium is open. Yes.
Yo, I'll tell you what. That $17 button is worth just that, because if it's a clear night, I ended up 2 years ago, I dropped Benny off at wrestling practice and they had the planetarium open. And we got to go in, and Lucy and I looked through the big microscope, and you could see the rings on Saturn.
Really?
Didn't look like the pictures you get, but you could see the rings on Saturn. And then we got to look at the moon. That was pretty wild to look at the moon that close. Like, you could see the mountains, and it was a pretty humbling experience.
Well, let's hope for a clear night.
Yeah. I might make a bootleg button just to go down there and check that one.
There you go. Have AI create it for you.
It could.
I'm sure
it could.
Food and drink. You can get food and drink at the high school. That's provided by Sack of Subs. Wonderland.
Is that free as well too?
Yes, that's included.
Wow.
Yeah. Wonderland Pier, 6th Street Pizza, Ocean City Community Center at the cafe, and there's snack stands at St. Peter's and the Civic Center. And then there's other, there's stuff on the boardwalk that's open. There's stuff downtown that's open. So I think that's it's a good thing for the city overall, right? Bringing people in at this time of year with businesses being open, hotels, restaurants, shopping.
Man, imagine how good a luxury hotel would do.
Oh,
on first night.
Yeah, especially if it had a bar.
No.
I'm moving on.
This is municipality. And
the events available range from ice skating, inflatables, swimming at the Aquatic Center, rides at Wonderland Pier, the telescope observation we talked about at the planetarium, and a wide variety of musical acts. You have a Bee Gees tribute band, a Billy Joel tribute band. You have the Ocean City Pops. You have dueling pianos, which I heard was really, really good. You have Japanese drummers. You have the Soul Cruisers, which are awesome. You ever hear of the Soul Cruisers, Dom? You ever see them in person?
Say I've heard the Soul Cruisers.
They are really good, very entertaining. It's a great band. Then you also have other things. You have game shows. You have trivia contests. You got the Harlem Wizards will be playing. You have
the Harlem Wizards?
Yeah, the Harlem Wizards.
Who are they?
The Harlem Globetrotter. It's like a similar.
Like a feeder program?
Yeah, I'm not sure of the technicality there. I don't know if I don't. It's a similar show. Put it the way.
Nice.
Yeah. You have a ventriloquist, a magician, a variety show, uh, all kinds of stuff. And
You
like I
know, Drew,
said,
at this point, I'm a little upset that the city has not come to us and asked us to do a live show during first night.
um, maybe they don't think they can afford us, Dom.
That's probably true.
Yeah, they have a
That's
budget,
probably
you know.
true.
Yeah, they have a budget.
Yeah. We're gonna need 6, 7 figures easy to do that for sure.
So there's an awful lot going on. The city really does. I think they do a great job of having all these venues, providing parking, providing transportation between the venues. They bring a lot of really varied acts in, right? So
Yeah.
if you can go see the Pops, if that's your thing, you can go see, the Bee Gees, band, the tribute band. I would go see them. Bee Gees have a lot of awesome songs.
That was your
Yeah,
heyday, man.
absolutely.
That was your heyday.
Staying alive, staying alive. Billy,
I'll refrain from singing. We know how good I am.
yeah. Billy Joel. There's a lot of stuff. Ice skating and I mean, just for kids, even if you just went to ice skating on the basketball courts outside the Civic Center, the inflatables inside the Civic Center, and then the rides at Wonderland Pier. I mean, for $22, and then get a slice of pizza at Gillings. I mean, you can't beat it. It's a great and it's a fun time, right?
No, it sounds like a great time.
Yeah, yeah. And one year that we went, it was crazy warm, like crazy warm. It was
Yeah.
like, you know, New Year's Eve and it was 60 degrees or something. I don't know, maybe
Wow.
not that quite that warm, but it was a really nice night. So hopefully the weather is good and it's a fun time.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
like it. It sounds like a great opportunity for families to come and enjoy the beach in the wintertime and have some fun and avoid some of the amateurs out there,
Right. Exactly.
you know? And then the party doesn't just stop at midnight. You can go home and rest for a little bit, and then there's first day activities as well too, aren't there?
Yep. Your first day at the beach. It starts with, well, there's the first day shopping extravaganza. And that is an
Everything's
extravaganza,
free, right?
Dom. Yeah.
Everything's free?
So no, but there are discounts,
No?
and the shopping is on the boardwalk and on Asbury Avenue. All stores on Asbury are open the first day from 9 to 5 between 5th and 14th. There's horse drawn carriage rides um, from 3 noon to 3, I think it is, and that's all day shopping all day, and they do offer discounts. Then
Nice.
you have the first day 5K. That starts at 1 o'clock at the Music Pier. There is an entry fee for that. Um,
So, I got a story about that actually.
okay.
In that first night in 1992,
Okay.
the first day 5K wasn't the next day. It was actually at midnight.
No,
Yes, it was.
really.
It was.
That's a
That
neat
w
idea. I like that.
it was at midnight. Um, my parents were runners at the time. I was a runner too, and we did that. Um, but it was crazy conditions because it was cold, and the boardwalk doesn't do well when it's cold and damp.
Right.
So there's ice. It was it was not the greatest conditions for a 5K, um, but that's when they had the first
Was
day
that the
5K.
only year that they did that, Dom?
I don't know that I just remember doing it that year. Um, and I think
Because all those races take a lot of volunteers to be run well, right?
yeah, I don't think when we did it, like in 1992, the running community wasn't nearly as big as the running
Okay.
community is now. I think there may have been like 30 or 40 of us that did it total. Like it wasn't like the runs that Ocean City puts on now where you have thousands of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was probably done by Bill Moreland, the longtime cross country coach at and Mike Naples, I want to say maybe. Um, there used to be a club, and I don't even know if it might even still be around, Runaway AC and the Boardwalk Runners. They were the clubs, and I think they probably put it on. But
Well, my guess is that regardless of the number, the volunteers probably weren't happy about
I don't think there were any volunteers on the course, Drew. I think it was literally just us running to the end of the boardwalk and turning around and running back. Yeah.
Well, times have changed, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So
A lot more lawyers.
yeah, that 1 o'clock start kind of fits right in because um, right after that at 2 o'clock is the first day plunge,
Nice.
and that's also at the music pier. Registration is free, but you have to sign a waiver. All participants have to sign a waiver before you go. So that's all happening right there on the boardwalk at the music pier within a couple hours. And then, and there's a ton of people. I was going to say thousands. Would your guess be thousands for
I'd
the
say
polar
probably
plunge?
pretty close to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that all those people go do the plunge.
No.
There's a lot of bystanders. It's very
Yeah.
crowded up there. Yeah.
People go all out, man. They dress up in costumes and they have some fun with
Yes,
it.
they do. Yeah. Yeah.
So, will you be plunging, Drew?
I will not be plunging. I will
Is
not.
is Kier going to use this as that opportunity as one of her plunges?
Actually, I think they do plunge on January 1st. Yeah, I think they do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the Ocean City plunge as well as the Margate plunge were both canceled um, in 2017 because the weather was so frigid cold.
I remember that.
Yeah, there was a high temp of like 15 degrees that day. That was the high. So they were, they were obviously concerned people were going to run into
Yeah.
major problems, so they canceled it. Yeah, I remember that too.
Nice, man. Well,
Yeah, so that's first night and first day.
sounds like a lot of good times to be had here in Ocean City.
Yeah, yeah,
Do we know if it's sold out or not yet?
it is sold out. Yes,
I'm gonna have to make that fake button then to get into the planetarium.
you can make a lot of money. I'll bet.
Selling some
Boot,
bootleg
boot,
buttons, little
bootleg
side hustle.
buttons.
I can get everybody a tushy if I make some
That's
bootleg
right.
buttons here.
That's right.
But no, that's good. Maybe I'll just go see if I can get into the planetarium and be like, hey, what's up? How you guys doing? Oh, my button's on my other pants back at the,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Airbnb.
Like you do on the beach when the beach
Yeah,
taggers
right.
approach. Yeah, my wife's got my button.
Hey, man. I don't know what you're talking about, Drew. I buy beach tags. I paid my 100% increase in price this year, and I loved every second of it. So
Now, not, but you didn't need tags for either of your kids, right?
no, not yet.
Yeah, they're
One
both
more year,
legal.
and then Benny turns 12, and
Yeah.
he'll need a beach tag. I'm shaking. If you're watching me here, I'm just shaking my head.
Yeah.
Um,
The reality is, like Benny, if he's on the beach, does he ever sit down?
no,
And no, no, my son didn't
no,
either.
no,
Never. Yeah.
and never. I don't even know where he is half the time.
Sure.
So, no, that's not true. I know where he is. He's just all over the place. He's everywhere. So, those days will be here soon, Drew. Those
Yeah.
days will be here soon. End of the year, Memorial Day will be on us like that. So, but No, man.
Hey, Dom, I'd like to give one shout out.
Go for it.
Another shout out. I gave a shout out to Craig Norberg for reaching out to me and correcting me and giving us good info.
Great job, Craig.
Yep. I just want to give a quick shout out to Randazzo's. The restaurant itself is great. You know, the pizza's awesome. All the food is good at Randazzo's.
Good chicken cutlets.
Yes, everything's good.
Yes.
I was in yesterday, day before, and they made Christmas tree shaped garlic knots, which I thought was interesting, and they looked really good. But that's not the shout out. The shout out is to the owners, Giuseppe, and I always get this wrong. It's either Anne Marie or Anna Marie. They are two of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Number one, they're just super nice, kind-hearted people. But they're just so generous and giving in the community, like, you know, the youth sports and the clubs at the high school. They're just so, you know, they're big-hearted people, and I just wanted to share that they're just great people, and again, the food is fantastic, but the owners of the business are really great people. So if you ever go in there, just say hello, and you should go in there because the food is really good.
No, agreed. They accommodated the football team after the season with, like, you know, days notice, and took good care of everybody, and awesome people.
Yeah.
Always giving back. So
Always.
good late episode shout out, Drew. Definitely a good one. And one of the few businesses that's open year round.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're coming down for first night and you're looking for a place to grab some grub, Randazzo's will not disappoint. So take a look at them. But you know, man, well, you know, we wrapped it up. We kept on time today. We did a good job.
Yes. Great job, Dom.
So, well, everyone, if you're heading to first night, stay safe. If you're not and you're venturing out with the amateurs, stay even safer. You know, we want you here in 2024 and beyond to listen to us meander on about nothing. So, but thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate your support as always. This has been the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we are your local guys.
Peace out, everybody.